ring bells, but I lost the key. No mystery, I know you heard of me, 'cause the name ring bells, but I lost the key. No mystery, I know you heard of me. 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 No mystery, I know you heard of me, 'cause the name ring bells, but I lost the key. No mystery, I know you heard of me, 'cause the name ring bells, but I lost the key. No mystery, I know you heard of me, 'cause the name ring bells, but I lost the key. No mystery, I know you heard of me, 'cause the name ring bells, but I lost the key. No mystery, I know you heard of me. No mystery, I know you heard of me. No mystery, I know you heard of me. No mystery, I know you heard of me.
Ever done that? No one has ever done that!
Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? How's it going today? How's everybody doing? Hope everybody is doing very, very well. Ace, nice job. Nailed the first. Nailed the socks. They're not always... Those socks are not always open right away, but when they are, they are. How are you, my friend? Good morning. Good morning. Well, I guess good noon time. Lunchtime? No, maybe lunchtime for you. Right? How are you today? How are you today? Now, the boss didn't treat you too bad yesterday, did she? I hope she took good care of you. And didn't yell at you too bad for... Because I saw you come back in. I saw you come back into stream, man. I didn't know if you had snuck away. What about me? I'm you know what? I'm here. I mean, I'm alive, so that's good. I'm just struggling with a few failing tests that I probably excuse me. I probably should have had them organized or like changed or worked on before, but I didn't. So there's that. I should have had these tests working initially, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep working. And now I'm like, why? Why did you do that? Why did you do that, me? Why did you do that? You ever have those days where something you did originally comes back to bite you in the butt? You know? You wouldn't have a problem if you don't test your code? True. Very true. But that's part of the problem. I didn't test my code. So now I'm having to go back and write tests later, after the fact. And it's proving to be a challenge. Let's just put it that way. It's proving to be a challenge. Because there's so much. It's dumb. It's just dumb. Okay, those are all there is to it. It's just dumb. I'm just frustrated. Anyways, you would have problems. Why would you write more lines of code? So part of the problem is that, like, I just wanted this app done, so I just started ripping on code. I didn't even put tests in place, and now I wish I had. So, oh well. But it's going to be a massive Friday for us. BRB, all right, man. Well, we'll see you when you get back. We'll see you when you get back here. Let's see. What do we have going on today? Yeah, well, my goal is still accurate. My goal over there, still entirely accurate. I want the dog's life. I want the dog's life right now. Welcome back, Ace. Welcome back, dude. So I've been thinking, I believe I have a way in which I could be productive with my work on stream. I believe I have a way I can be productive with my work on stream and get work done, but also let you guys into a little bit of the world I live in. The world I live in, the world of Django that I'm in. And the reason that I think I can do it now is... Hang on, I'm dropping stuff like crazy right now. There we go. All right. The reason I think I can do it is this. Part of the reason that I can't do my stuff on stream is because of, like, I don't want to call it branding per se, but it's... I'm not trying to dox my employer either, you know? So, and I'm also not trying to give out that information, but I think I've narrowed down that data to, like, one particular application. And I think if I just made a clone of that, but just changed the critical information, I believe then I could just do whatever. It wouldn't matter. You know, it wouldn't matter because there is no confidentiality because I'm not using any real data, right? Like, I'm using all fake data. There's never any production data or even stuff off of our like staging data. There's none of that. It's all fake. So I can do that if I change this one application, like give it a different name or something. So I think in the Django project side, I can just say, like, I could just call it something else. Company structure and code. It's generic, honestly. Like, I can tell you what the apps do. But there's never anything... Well, I shouldn't say never. But, like, with a new app that we're doing... There's no code, right? Like, and for example, the profile, the profiles and the details and all that stuff on this app that I'm building now. Like, what do I care if you guys see a bunch of fake data that's an HTMX application that just pulls up somebody's profile, right? That doesn't matter. Like, you're not gonna be able to tell from that fake data where I work or who, you know, like, who these people are. Don't talk to me about those profiles. Yeah, I'm ready to be done with it, to be honest. Hold on. Vitamins. Here's the kicker. Here's the kicker, Ace. You can't. We can't. We cannot. That database holds so there's a third-party piece of software. There's a third-party piece of software, and that third-party piece of software is they own that database. It's their database. That's the thing. It's their database. So we use their software, and it's such a critical, their software is so critical to where I work. It is crucial. It is, crucial, I think is the right word. It's crucial to where I work. And so when they say you don't have X, Y, and Z, you can make a foreign key from unmanaged models. That is correct. And that's what I do now is I cheat and I make that foreign key in Django so I can use the Django ORM. But on the database side, it's not a real foreign key. So, but here's the thing. You can get into trouble with that. You can get into trouble with that because since the tables that you're working with are not a real foreign key, that means that data in that table could be duplicated because there's no system in place to prevent putting in a duplicate. And so then if you're relying on maybe, let's say you have a column called viewer ID, right? Like let's talk like in Twitch terms here. If I had a column called viewer ID, it's supposed to be unique, right? There would not be two ace of spades in there. But if for some reason it goofed up, there could be, because it's an unmanaged model, right? So if there was ever a chance that there was two ace of spades in that viewer table, then the application would break. You would see a 500 error. So you just have to be careful, and you really kind of, you're starting to build a house of cards a little bit when you start to do that. You're going down a weird rabbit hole, a weird road, because if the data is wrong in the database, then you're going to have problems. Now, I get it. Like, as the developer, right? We're just like, hey man, your data, not my problem. You put bad stuff in, and now the system is broken. But don't the unmanaged models get IDs from the external database? Why would it have duplicated primary keys? Well, that's the thing. They're not even a real table. They're not a real table. It's a view, which is different than a real table. A view, excuse me. Hang on. I have the solution for us. I have the solution for us here. I got you, man. I got you. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about this. So, whoops. Nope, wrong one. Give me a sec. Okay, so you have a regular DB. Oh, you have a regular DB table, right? So your regular DB table has an ID, right? And that's going to be your primary key. And any foreign key, like a whatever ID, And that's going to be like a foreign key, right? Whatever. In a normal database table, you know how that works. You can only have one primary key. You cannot have multiple of the same, right? Like, we know how that works. So in a view, man, I gotta drop this down a little here to like 6 maybe. No, even smaller maybe. Well, anyway, a view. So a view, what happens is a script runs. Basically, what happens is a script runs, and then it builds the table like a. I'm gonna use this in air quotes, right? And this is going to have like an ID. And this is just an integer though. And this is going to have like some other field that has an ID. This is also just going to be an integer. It's not a real foreign key because this is it's a fake table, right? It's a view. Let's draw an arrow down here. Fake table. Okay. And that, because that's really what it is. It's a fake table. It's not a real table, so there's no integrity. I mean, your script ideally, I think would maybe you could write something in there. I'm not a SQL developer, so I don't know. But I imagine I would imagine that you could have some security in there, right? Like, you're not going to let yourself have... I know... Well, I take that back. I lied, Ace. In a view, you can set a primary key... You can set a primary key column. Now that I'm thinking about it. Would you be able to write some triggers to populate a profiles table? Why wouldn't you be able to do a view being able to write some triggers to populate a profiles table? So I'm sure. So that's a thing. So remember how I said we have we work with a third-party database, right? So basically they say this. We're gonna say this is their database, right? This is their database. It's huge. Okay. It's massive. And so like they have all these tables, like tons and tons of tables. This is critical data for us, right? Critical. Now, what they tell us is that like, hey, you get this schema down here. This is your schema. And if you want to do stuff in that schema, you can. Okay? This is our schema down here, right? So we can do stuff down here. And I can't remember what it is though. We cannot give Django cannot have management of this, right? Cannot be managed by Django. So I know it's a third-party DB. I'm just disappointed in who designed it. Yeah, I can't help that. I can't help that. It can't be managed by Django, which means that we have to use unmanaged views, basically, across the board, essentially. And in this schema down here, like, because we can't use... How does this work? I can't remember... I could be misremembering, so don't quote me on this one. But I think the schema stuff essentially is we go with, like, views and stored procedures. Specifically because it's easier that way in case they change something in the database and it breaks things. because it gives us the ability to change a few scripts. Stored procedures. Yeah, there we go. And so it gives us the ability to just change a few scripts and be up and running with our data, right? Based on their DB. They used to give us access. Like we could create a table. In the old days, we could just create a table in their database. We could do that sort of thing. But what they told us was they were locking down the database to prevent that from happening because they had other clients who would do that and then put in terrible trash data that would break things. And then they would go down and like it was a big nightmare. It was a nightmare. So that's the main, like, that's the primary reason now. We kind of are stuck using views or stored procedures. I had the same problem with my brother using model to manage virtual campus for schools. You have to use their DB, and it's a mess in order of categories. I think you're talking about Moodle, right? I think schools use Moodle, like that's the CMS for schools and things. And Ace, I've said it before, so I have no problem saying it again. I do work in the education realm, so I think we may be very on to something here. It is not Moodle, but we do deal with a database that has a lot of information for people who are in the educational arena. I will put it that way, very broadly. And it is a third party, not unlike what you were talking about. It is not Moodle, though. I promise it's not Moodle. But yeah, this information system, we'll call it that. This is a third-party info system that has tons of data, like across, I mean, probably hundreds of tables spread all over the place. And I don't know. You have a field which is constructed 1, 14, and 20. That means the registry depends on 1 and 1 through 14 categories. What? You have a field. That sounds crazy. Like, because I don't understand it. Mostly because I don't understand it. So, like, is it like a many-to-many kind of a table? Is that what you got going on there? Like a many-to-many kind of a thing? Or is it something else that I'm maybe misunderstanding? Which is a very real possibility. Not that I would never understand. You have a character field. Oh, yowza. Ooh. So they use their own. It's almost like they use their own delineator inside of a character field. Oh my god. What? So like so the dash is like a separator then. The dash is a separator for determining like the data that it lives in. So like, dude, that sounds insane. Okay, our database setup is not like that at all. It is nowhere like that. Not even close. But we are still stuck with using views and stored procedures and things of that nature. So is what it is. I'm okay with it. I mean, only because I've learned to get around it, right? Like I can build the models, unmanaged models in such a way. Oh, hey, look, somebody who's really looking to get banned. Fantastic. Welcome to the ban, Hammer Dummy. Good job. They're already gone anyway, but that's all right. Is that... hang on. Give me a sec here. Whoops. All right, here we go. Sorry, is that view part of the third-party DB? Yeah, so like this view over here that we're dealing with is down in here, right? It's in that third-party database. Like, we're allowed to create views as long as they're in our schema. We're allowed to do things in our schema, right? We can do things in our schema, but we just can't go anywhere else. Can't you make your own view on Django? Genuine question. You mean like, are you talking about like a SQL view? Like we can make our own SQL view in the database that Django manages? Maybe I'm misunderstanding. Like, I don't... I think maybe we're misunderstanding. I think there's a miscommunication between a Django view replicating that third-party view with unique foreign keys. No, because Django does not allow for... Well, it would all... So here's the thing. If we were to do that, and we might be able to do something like that, if we were... But the problem is that you would have to basically take... You'd have to take this data and send it over to, like, our DB over here. Like, this would be our DB. Our DB. Wow, I cannot write. RPB, whatever. You'd have to do something like this to get that data over there. I don't know, because Django will not allow cross-database things. Flyboy, I asked you about Savannah Bananas last night, and you said nothing. You were gone. So I guess you were off being a dad bod cheerleader? I don't know what Savannah Bananas even is, dude. You were like, I'm here for Savannah Bananas and socks. Bye. I'm out of here. And then you just disappeared. I popped in my socks. I don't want to know. That... Yeah, it would be a mess writing the DB sync. Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Either somebody's going to get... It's going to suck, right? Either our SQL admin is going to have to write some crazy script and put it on a... Like, it runs every night at midnight to, like, sync the two things. Or, like, it would just be a nightmare. Which is why we just go with... It sucks, but we just build the views here in this database and we just call that data from that view to bring into our Django application. So, like, it's not great, it's not ideal, but it works. And Django lets us, you know, fake that foreign key connection then. I don't know, for right, wrong, or otherwise. Plus, I don't think in a view, because a view gets built, right, during this build process, I don't think, because of this build process, I don't think you can have an actual foreign key in there. You can use DB router to view their database. Yes. We have a DB router in place to view this stuff. I think part of the problem is that you're thinking of view like a Django view, where you write the code that just says, like, you know, get this stuff. Whereas a view in SQL is different. It's kind of like a stored procedure, which is a stored procedure. And maybe there's not a misunderstanding, but I feel like maybe there is. A view is very similar to a stored procedure. The only difference is a view is ran periodically or by some other trigger or whatever. A stored procedure is ran right when you call it right at that moment. But like the Django views that like the Django views are just the programmatic stuff to shove the stuff on the website. I feel like there's some miscommunication there, but And Flyboy, yeah, we do use the DB router to view their database, but the problem is that I need to record data too, or at least record options of data. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's just a mess, okay? It's just a mess. I wish we just had Django manage things. You guys are hurting my brain this morning. It's Friday, man. And you're hurting my brain. Savannah Bananas, Dad Bod, Cheerleader. I don't know that I necessarily... I don't... Oh, okay. Oh, thank God. Oh, this is a sigh of relief here. All right. It's a baseball team. Savannah Bananas. Okay. I was thinking something else entirely. The Man-nanas? It wasn't terrible to Google. Well, I didn't know that. I didn't know what I was going to come up with. Think about it, man. Savannah Bananas. Dad bod cheerleaders. Come on, man. That could lead you down some weird rabbit holes that I do not want to go down. Oh, man. The dad bod cheerleaders. Just kidding. It's not going to load for us. Perfect. Perfect. A true sign that we're meant for one thing today, y'all. We need to get bustin'. As the kids say. Bustin'. I've never sent you down that path. Flyboy, you're right. You've always been good about not sending me down those paths, kind of. Well, although I seem to recall you leading me down some pretty not good paths with regards to treats. Everyone has redeemed the treats. Everyone has redeemed the treats. Just open your stream and the first thing I see is this. Savannah Bananas and Dad Bods? What can you do? You gotta know. You gotta know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. You gotta know where your worth is. I could be a dad bod cheerleader for sure. It was your redemption, Flyboy. I totally forgot about that. It was your redemption. Oh, and it was that gummy, like it was a licorice thing. You're not good enough to be a Savannah Bananas dad bod cheerleader. Take that. That's right. I'm slinging insults now. Look out. Ahmed, how are you today, by the way? How's it going? I'm tired. I'm ready for this week to be over. Y'all. I really, really am. Maybe I've taken off. Maybe I've bit off a little more than I'm ready to chew. What is the way to collab you mentioned yesterday? Well, you mean with regards to me working on stream and like coding on stream? Is that what you're talking about? So their baseball team was in town and we took the kiddo. Cool. It was a great time. But while I was standing in line, I got notified you were streaming and I knew I could get socks. I didn't even wait for the ad roll to finish. Nice. Thanks, Flyboy. You didn't get the socks today, though. Ace nailed them. Snuck them right out from underneath you. Ace, the way in which I think we could do code on stream is the... Can't feel your feet. Ahmed, where are you that it's so cold? Where are you that it's so cold? The way in which I would be able to stream my work is there's a couple repositories that have that show kind of some information on like employer and where I work and things. So as long as I can not use those repos, I could show my code. We could work on stream together, because that stuff wouldn't matter. So I just have to basically create a copy of those repos, but just remove all the employer related speak in them. So as long as I do that, then we would be good. Ahmed, we need to have a talk, bro. We need to have, oh my gosh. We need to have a talk, man. Look here. Let me do some math for you. Let me do some conversions here, because we need to get a few things out of the way here. The other day when we were up north, we were staying in an uninsulated cabin, okay? And the interior weather inside the cabin where we were, with our heater on full blast, when we woke up, was this for you. This is Celsius here for you. And even then, it was a little chilly. I don't know that I would say that I was frozen, but I would say that it was cold. So the fact that you are here and are saying it's cold is hysterical to me. All right. This temperature. Okay. Let me show you what I keep my house that I am currently in, that I'm living in right now. What is my house normally at? This is the everyday temperature of my house. This is it. In the winter, this is where my house is temperature wise. I think you might just freeze to death if you were to ever come visit, Ahmed. That's all I'm going to say. I think you would freeze to death here. Oh, Ace, I know what you're saying. Yeah. The VS code to write in the same file and project. Yeah, I probably wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't go that wild. I can't survive in a negative temperature. Yeah, like the outdoor temperature when we, on the day we left, this was the outdoor temperature. That's before the wind chill. That's without no wind chill. So with the wind chill, they were talking maybe it was like closer to like this or this. It was cold. It was very cold. Very, very cold. But that's okay. I like it cold. I prefer the cold. We officially turned off the heater here at my house. Flyboy, I love those days. I love the days when it's warm enough to turn off the heater and it's cool enough to not have the air conditioning going. Those are my favorite days. Period. They're the best days, because then you're not using any energy. No money is leaving your pocket. You're feeling good, man. Just the wind, the cool wind blowing around. You open up the windows, let that fresh air roll through the house. Oh, that's the best, man. That's the best. I love it. I'm glad that you're having weather like that. Ahmed, if it was 56, I get it. There's a chill there. But even then, I mean, your house has got to be fairly warm, right? Like fairly warm, I would think. At 56 outside, what would that be here? Like 56, if it's, yeah, I'm sorry. So if 56 outside, I can guarantee that my house will be a few degrees warmer than that. It'll probably be in the 60s, which for me would be normal temps. 56 would be very, very nice. Oh, man. Trouble has arrived, everyone. Trouble has arrived. Futile, how are you, man? How's it going, bro? How are you today? Oh, I'm really trying to snap this. I have been so tired. Since yesterday afternoon, I have just felt exhausted. Trying to snap out of it. I'm trying so hard right now. Busy, busy, busy. Futile, I am with you on that one. I feel you big time. I've got a project that a friend and I are building out, a Django project. Not unlike your score it solution, but it is not your, it is for like the timing scoring stuff. So very different. We're starting to work on that a little bit. I think we've gone through a lot of the logistics, and I think we're going to go forward with it. I'm just not sure. I don't know. I don't know how it's all going to go down. I really have no idea. I'm very scared about it. But then I have that. Then I have this other work stuff. Obviously, my day-to-day work stuff. And then even on beyond that has been training for this 12-hour mountain bike race. Man. And beyond that, I've been trying to like maybe do a little bit of game streaming in the evening. Like last night, we did a little game streaming. I would like to make that a regular thing. Maybe Tuesday, Thursdays. So, oh God. Oh God. Wait, as a dad bod cheerleader, do you get to hang out with the rest of the cheerleaders? What I'm really curious about... No, I'm not curious about it. I'm not going to say anything. Never mind. Forget I said anything. We're just going to ignore this. We're going on a different discussion here. What did we stream? We did some MX vs. ATV Legends. We did some MX vs. ATV Legends. We were trying really hard to break some high score, or I should say some low times that we had going on. What the... Yo! And they just get random people to be the dad bod cheerleaders? Dude, that's funny. That is hilarious, Flyboy. There are no other cheerleaders. Savannah Bananas is like Monty Python baseball. Really? Really? That's cool, man. Hey, if you're going to do it, have fun with it, right? If you're going to do it, have fun with it. That's hysterical. Those photos are great. Thank you very much for sharing. Thank you very, very much for sharing. Maybe. What's up, man? Hydrate. Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. How does everybody know about this? How does everybody know about this? Maybe, how are you today, man? How's it going, dude? That water is ice cold. I almost coughed. Working, but I'll lurk. I appreciate it, maybe. Thank you very, very much, man. I appreciate the lurk. I'm going to jump us into a pomodoro. I don't know if somebody's here or if something else is going on. But yeah, I'm going to jump us into a pomodoro so I can go check out what the heck's going on around my house. Hopefully somebody's not like breaking in and about to murder me. So, here we go, everybody, right now.
Emphasize impact, girl, you know I like that. Girl, you know.
We are living in a simulation. The choice. We are living in a simulation. The choice is not anymore. We all deserve something to live. We all deserve something worth fighting for. Something worth fighting for. The choice.
turned off. Your consciousness will now get turned off. Your consciousness will now get turned off. Your consciousness will now get turned off.
All right. All right, it's break time, everybody. Time to relax a little bit. Relax. Relax, relax. Make sure you're looking far away, like 20 feet or more, typically, for your eye health. You know, you want to be concerned. So let's do that together now. Adjust your glasses if you, like me, are equally blind. We're going to look 20 feet away, find a spot on the wall, find a spot out the window. Find something that's good, that you like looking at. You know? In my case, it's a mirror. I have a mirror set up 20 feet away so I can look at my chiseled jawline and my extremely good-looking physique. There we go. All right. There we go. I should feel a little bit better. A little bit better. A little more relaxed. All right. We're taking care of ourselves. We're doing the right thing. We're giving ourselves some self-care. Self-soothing, I think. Okay. Enter. Oh. Okay. Sure. The thing I hate about tests is like when you have so many foreign keys, your tests get crazy, get kind of weird, right? Like maybe it's just me, but like and maybe you guys know a better way to do this, because let me see. Like I don't have anything. I don't know that we have anything crazy in our stuff for like Xmark or anything. Like, here we go. So let's do this. So I think it's interesting because like Xmarks is pretty small, right? Like it's pretty tiny. There's not a lot of stuff that can happen, but I just think it gets a little over. How to appropriately say this? I think it can become a little overwhelming when you have an application. Like in my case, this application is small. I've only got 4 models in this app, so you would think like, oh, 4 models, no problem. But the issue here is, and I guess Ace, this kind of goes to what we were talking about earlier a little bit, right? We were talking about the foreign keys, right? So in Django, for example, if we had a foreign key, then in your test, if you're testing that model that has that foreign key, right? Like you have to have that other related model. Now, Factory Boy makes it by and large pretty easy, right? Because I think, don't we have factories for this? No, we don't. Of course not. It makes it pretty easy though, to a point where you can kind of create and get it to like set up dummy data pretty easily. But when you start having these like reliances on each other, so I don't know how best to deal with it. Or it gets a little frustrating when, here, let me, this is my rub right here is, hang on, here we go. Okay, so this is the issue. All right, this is the issue that I'm running up against. And if anybody has any ideas, I'm all ears. I'm all ears. So we have, maybe we've got like a user table, okay? And like this over here, and it might have like, you know, first name, and you might have last name, and you might have whatever, some other information, right? Well, then I have this view dot like profile, let's say, right? And this is a view, so it's not a real table, it's a table that gets built, but it might be like maybe it has the user ID, right? And it's a int. And maybe there's, for some other reason, there's like first name here and last name here. It becomes an absolute nightmare. And we'll just say characters for lack of a better term. Okay. So now all of a sudden, right? Like you have this relationship here that's not really a relationship, it's just an integer, right? But as far as Django knows, so as far as the Django side, it sees it as a foreign key, right? So you'll have a profile model that'll have user, a foreign key to user, and then you'll have first name. We're just going to use FN, sure, and a last name, sure. So now in Django, so like these two are tied together, right? And so in Django we have profile, and then we've also got like, you know, user, which has all your stuff, all your typical goodies that you would expect it to have, right? Which has your first name and last name. So now all your data has to be like, these have to be identical, right? So this is the issue I'm running up against, is like when you create this test data, now I have to make sure that I can't just do a sub factory, right? Because like normally you could just do a factory and like of a profile or whatever, and then you would have a user and it would be a sub factory, which would then calls the user factory, right? But the thing that sucks about it is now you have to do like a lazy attribute sub factory kind of a thing. I feel like I'm watching the Primogen. Well, sometimes it helps for me to like write this crap out. It really does. I find it very helpful. By the way, what's up, Brew Crew? How are you? Good to see you this morning. And so this becomes a spaghetti mess, right? Like we're already a spaghetti mess. Like I really wish this didn't exist, and I wish this didn't exist, and I wish it was literally just give me the user ID, I'll go build it myself, right? But I get it. This is here because this is supposed to make my life easy, right? Like I'm supposed to be able to pull up this profile and have access to the first name and the last name of this user. And I can get the user ID if I need to do further some stuff, but I don't necessarily have to, right? I don't necessarily have to, but it's there if I need it. But the problem is in modeling this stuff out, it makes it an absolute pain in the butt. Absolute pain in the butt, because now I need to make sure that, and I've ran into issues where like, oh, my profile first name is different than my user first name, and that gets a little confusing, right? Like the logic doesn't really care, but it does get a little confusing when it's like, well, the profile is named Joe Smith, but the user is actually Sam Jones, right? Like, and then like you're running your application and you're like, Sam Jones, or like you got a test that's failing and you're like, Sam Jones, it should be Bob Smith. Like, what the heck's going on here? And you get really confused, and it's because these things don't match up. They don't necessarily have to, right? They don't have to, but in the real world, when we go to do it, they are going to match up. So I don't know. Brew Crew, I wish I had the followers of the Primogen. I would love that. If I had the followers of the Primogen, we would just probably just be building things all day. because I'm pretty sure he makes a crazy amount of money just from streaming that I can't even begin to compare to. It is Friday. It feels good, right? It feels fantastic to be Friday. I am very, very happy. I'm ready for the weekend, man. I'm exhausted mentally. I think there's a lot going on. I'm curious. Yeah, right. He makes enough to quit Netflix, so that's the dream. I only know of the Primogen. I don't know a lot of his backstory. I don't know where he comes from. I don't know what his work history looks like. I don't know how he rose to where he is in terms of being a streamer. I just know that he is pretty opinionated on some tech topics, and he has a lot of YouTube videos out there where he expresses his opinions and talks about a number of things. But he seems like a pretty nice guy to me. Like, just from the videos that I've seen, he seems opinionated and kind of high energy and like very like loud and boisterous, but he seems all right. He knows what he's talking about, so I'm good with it. I don't care. I am a little bit curious. I need your guys' opinion on something. I realize our Pomodoro's over, so my apologies for those of you who come here for these great on-time Pomodoros that never ever run over when we're on a break. Actually, this is a discussion for next break. This is a discussion for next break. All right. I do want to try to keep us somewhere in that realm of Pomodoro-ness. Right? It's not fair. It's not fair because there are people, believe it or not, there are people. I see them. There are people who come here and they lurk, and I'm good with it. They come here and they lurk and they actually work with us throughout the entire day. They're here in chat. They're just lurking. They don't ever say anything, but I see you. I see you. I know you're there. Okay. Okay, let's get back to this. Next break, I have a big question for y'all. I was going to keep it personal, keep it to myself, but I could use some outside opinions on this. So if you guys are game, I would definitely, I need some help. He's big in the Vim community, so that's where a lot of his filling comes from. Yeah, I think that's where I've seen a lot of his stuff, maybe. I don't know. He's very big on making something of yourself and turning your life around. I actually found out the other day that his brother is in prison for drug crimes because he made a video about a guy. Wait. I actually found out the other day that his brother is in prison for drug crimes because he made a video about a guy that is a software developer from prison. Wow. His name is Preston Thorpe. Heavily recommended looking up his story. The Primogen, his name is Preston Thorpe? I may have to do some reading. Sounds like a very interesting individual. Sounds very, very interesting. Yeah, I'm going to have to do some reading on him. That's cool, man. Thank you for sharing that information. I would not have known otherwise. Oh, the guy that's a developer in prison. I see. See here, I was going to be like, oh, the Primogen is in prison? That would be interesting. I think I have, well, maybe not that guy specifically, but I have heard of a guy who, like, people learn all kinds of stuff in prison. Like, when you take it seriously and you understand the fact that you did something to get yourself in prison, and you look at it as an opportunity for rehabilitation, yeah, I think wild things can happen. I may have heard of this guy before. Nope. Definitely have never heard of this guy before. Non-violent drug crimes currently. Huh. Wow. Wow. This is a lot to read. Holy smokes. That's a lot to read. That's going to make for some good reading, though. Very good reading. All right. Let's jump into another Pomodoro. I'm really sorry for those of you who come here and you play along and I'm here rambling. I'm so sorry. We're going to jump into another one. And then I need this is going to give me, okay, I have one Pomodoro to like think about how I want to ask you guys for some help. Because I need help. And I need opinions. And I need thoughts on things. And I would love to get some. So let's do this. And then we'll be back to that.
love this hard. It's tearing worlds apart. I never told the moon anything about me and you. And I know I gotta keep on breathing, but you know it's really hard when I'm thinking about me and you and everything that we can do. Are you gonna be on that side now? Tell me, baby, please, are you gonna stick around? Cause all my time's for you. Just tell me that you want me to. I've been looking at you from rising, and all these lights are dim compared to you. I've been falling, 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 and keep me coming, 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 coming. And every day, and every way, I promise to feel the same. And all of you more than any other words can say. Love is hard, it's tearing worlds apart. I never told the moon anything about me and you. And I know I gotta keep on breathing, but you know it's really hard when I'm dreaming about me and you and everything that we can do. Are you gonna be on that side now? Tell me, baby, please, are you gonna stick around? Cause all my time's for you. Just tell me that you want me to. I've been looking at you from the horizon, and all these lights are dim compared to you. I've been falling, 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 and keep me coming, 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 coming. And every day, and every way, I promise to feel the same. Cause all of you more than any other words can say. I'm terrified and loving it. Want no regrets to keep me up at night. Feel so alive and loving it. Had to survive, so I finally learned to fight. Left till we cry for the fun of it. Now I finally see the light. Don't wanna waste a single minute. Now I finally have you, got you by my side. Let's fucking love and give me some. It's just a game of pain.
I can feel it now, the love is sending down through the skies, your beautiful halo. I caught you chasing the sun as I was chasing the one. We never looked back from our love road. You showed me love before heaven called to take you home. I vowed I'd treasure an eternal love in our last few seconds. I vowed to never lose your heart on your way to heaven. On your way to heaven. I saw a side of love I thought I'd never trust until the skies cleared the picture. You are the brightest star to which I pray to God for every minute that I'm missing you. I vowed I'd treasure an eternal love in our last few seconds. I vowed to never.
All right, y'all. It's break time again. First application done. 29 remaining. Ace, you've got this, dude. You've got this, man. Are you creating a new cover letter for each and every application that you're sending out? Like, in doing a little bit of like it actually the more the more appropriate that you want to be with job hunt. It's really difficult, right? Like, because you want to do a little bit of research on the company so that you can sprinkle that stuff in your cover letter. You know what I mean? And then you can be like, well, I know you guys do this and da-da-da-da. And, but it's all a game, man. It sucks, but it's awful. It's awful. Guys, we've been staring at a screen now for a bit here. Make sure you look away. Make sure you look away. Look at a spot 20 feet away or more. Give yourself a little minute to relax. Take a stretch if you need to take a stretch. Get up, move the legs a little bit, get some blood flowing here. Make sure that you're staring at that spot 20 feet away or more. We're going to go for like 20 seconds. We have got to be closing on 20 seconds. There we go. There we go. Exploiting the new Gemini version depending on company's culture. Yeah, man. I'm all for it, dude. I'm all for it, man. Legit. Originally, I was kind of torn. I was kind of like AI, but I don't know. The more I've gotten comfortable, the more I've familiarized myself with some of this AI stuff. For example, I use Claude, and I use Claude pretty frequently. Like if I'm like, yo, give me an HTML template for a table that has Bootstrap 5 classes in it that is just your basics table. And it will just dump it out for me. And I'm like, I don't have to write that. Thank God. You know what I mean? Like there's so much good stuff that AI can do. Company's culture, having an idea of what the company, like that's going to be able to scrape more data off the web than you're ever going to be able to do in a reasonable amount of time. So you're going to have a good idea of what's going on. Like it's amazing. Guys, I have a question. Should I pay for GitHub Copilot? Ooh, that's a question. That's a question. Ace, full disclosure, I do. I pay for GitHub Copilot. Only because I think it's, again, much in the same way that Claude saves me that time for like asking programming related questions. I find that GitHub Copilot additionally saves me a lot of time. Like it will its contextually aware suggestions for me, I find helpful. It's not always accurate. Not always accurate, but it does do a good enough job that I can get. It will give me the rough thing in place. Don't they have a free version now? Our boss just brought it up because we are not allowed to use it because of our sensitive data. Yeah, see, that's one of the things that I have really, why I pushed so hard to kind of make our stuff a little bit more generic and not have to use production data to test locally, is specifically that. Like, I want my development machine to be free of any links to production data. And so far, knock on wood, I've been able to do that. So I don't care. GitHub can just whatever. If they want to analyze my code, I try to allow as little as possible. But if they want to analyze my code, all they're going to see is like a bunch of Django stuff. There's no data. It doesn't have access to any data. Like, I'm not even on the VPN, so it literally doesn't have any access to any data. That's so I'm very happy about that. I had a question though. Final 30 seconds here. I'm going to hit you guys with a tough one. How much do you trust people? How much do you trust people? People above you, people that say, hey, we're gonna maybe have this role at an organization. I realize there's no context to that comment, and that kind of makes it really hard to kind of give any opinion. Ace, I'm with you a bit. And it's more so using it in our code because we do lots of reports with our data that has, got it, like PHI. Like, that's similar to PII, I'm assuming, personally identifying information. Gotcha. Yeah, see, I don't do any of that. Literally, my code is just my code. I work on the source code and that's it. Let me clarify what I'm saying here. So, there's an opportunity for someone to be really a lot happier, I think, with their job and career, but it would require going out on a limb, potentially taking multiple part-time roles in the hope that the full-time job would materialize out of that, if that makes sense. Like there's somebody leaving an organization, and this is not me, protected health information or personal health information. Okay. This is not me specifically. I'm wondering about someone else. They have an opportunity, and somebody is they work for this company. I don't want to give away too much information just because, I don't know how or when it will happen or all this. Ace, that's a great point. Other interests that you're unaware of. Yeah, that's a really good point. It's a really, really good point. So like, I don't want to give too much away. But essentially there's an organization and there is a person that works for that organization. Right now they're in a very almost a contract kind of role where they're not a full-time employee. They don't get benefits. They don't have all this, but that's okay because they have a full-time job over here, right? They've got a full-time job currently. That has all the benefits and everything, and they do this other contract work on the side. Well, the company that they do the contract work for one of their employees just left, and they had a part-time job that takes about 30 hours a week, right? It's not full-time though. It's 30 hours a week. It's part-time. And that person just left, but all the management knows that this contractor would be the perfect fit for that role. And that contractor told the management, hey, I'm interested, but it's got to be a full-time role. Do you think we can make this a full-time role? And they said, potentially, but it has to be okayed through HR and everything, and it has to happen in this window of time, which has already expired. So we won't be able to reapproach HR with moving this to a full-time role until this date down the road. But there is this other part-time position. So now this person would be looking at taking on potentially 2 part-time positions that pay X amount of dollars, right? In addition to their other role as a contractor, they would still be there, but in order to do all of that, they would have to leave their full-time position over here, right? They would have to leave this position. So, which, as you might guess, 2 part-time positions plus their contract work, right? Like, the money is not going to be as good as their full-time position over here. So it will be a pay decrease, but the long-term goal will be that in the next, whenever that window is, I think it's like in 6 months or something, whenever that window is over here, they're going to try to make that position, that part-time position, a full-time position, meaning they would get benefits like health insurance, like all that good stuff. But it's a total guess. Maybe it's like maybe it will work. Maybe it'll be a full-time position, but there's the potential that it might just not be. And then they're stuck working these 2 part-time positions at a lower rate. But there's a catch. There's a catch. Their full-time job, check this, bear with me, their full-time job could potentially offer a leave of absence with benefits if they pursue higher education. So if they go for like another master's degree or a PhD even, and if they work towards that, they can maintain their benefits but not have to go to work. They could take the part-time jobs over here. So then really the only bad thing is just the decrease in pay, right? Like, they're going to make significantly less money over here. But if it falls through and that full-time job doesn't come around, they can end their leave of absence and go back to their other job. It's such a difficult situation. It's such a difficult situation. I think I've generalized it enough. But yeah, the decrease in pay would be big. Like, probably cut their pay in half. Because it's a part-time role. It's not a full-time gig. But if they can get on full-time over here, if that becomes a full-time role, then the pay, I think, would jump back to being comparable to where they were at over here in their regular full-time role. The problem is that they don't like their full-time role over here. It just isn't working for them. It's really not, it's not good. I don't know. Sorry, I have to be vague with some of this stuff. I apologize for the vagueness. I don't know. Yeah, it's a tough situation, and it's just one that is requiring a lot of thought. And the other thing that makes it difficult is that the part-time jobs over here, right now, we have no way of knowing what the total amount they would make from those jobs is. So we don't know how much of a pay cut it would be going from this place to this place. Right now it's an unknown. So we have to figure that out. Because if it's like, if you're making, you know, the same salary as like a high school kid, well, yeah, I mean, I just don't think that that's reasonable. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm rambling. We need to quit rambling. I know it's Pomodoro time. I'm sorry. Thank you for the reminder, Ace. Let's I'm almost out of coffee. That means I got to get some tea ready. This is what I'm trying to say. Got to get some tea ready. It's Friday, guys. Shake the wrists out. Shake it out a little bit. Crack the neck, crack your knuckles, do whatever you got to do. Get a little stretch in. Let's rock and roll. Here we go. All right, y'all, it's break time. Time to relax. Time to take our eyes off the work for a minute. Close your eyes. Take yourself somewhere else. Think about somewhere else you'd rather be right now. Let's give ourselves 30 seconds. With our eyes shut, let's think about this. Right now, I'm thinking about, man, a couple other places that I'd rather be. I'd rather be riding my bicycle, going for a nice long ride outside, or I would rather be riding my dirt bike, just cruising. Doesn't have to be fast either. Just crawling through some woods in Wisconsin, hitting the throttle. Yep, that's it. All right, that was a that was a long imaginative bit of that break. Oh man. I am like, I'm so pooped. I'm pooped. This week has been a tough one. I think because of all the stuff that I have going on, the insane things that we have going on, the fact that we're there's just so much going on. Yeah, I'm kind of pooped. I'm just pooped. That's all there is to it. Guys, I'm going to end this one early. I don't normally do this on a Friday because I freaking love Fridays. I'm going to call it, though. I'm going to call it early today. I'm sorry, gang. I am definitely... I'm just pooped. I'm pooped. I need to go for a walk. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to take off. I'm going outside. I'm going for a walk. I highly encourage you guys to do the same thing. I need a little pizzazz in my life. I need a little bit of something different. I need to get outside. I need to go for a nice long walk. I'm going to go take a couple miles. Guys, if you haven't done that lately for yourself, please do that for yourself. Okay? Please do that for yourself. Take care of yourselves. I need to have a little health care for myself. I need to get out, get a nice deep breath in the chilly weather. And yeah. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for this week. I'm sorry, I've been like pretty tired this week, but I promise next week will be a little bit better, right? Right. Always looking forward. Always looking forward. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out today, guys. I'm going to hit and run. I'm going to get out of here. Guys, thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it. In the wise words of our founding forefathers, Bill and Ted, be excellent to each other. Keep building cool things, keep doing cool things, keep putting the good vibe out of the universe. It's bound to come around. That's a guarantee that you can take to the bank. As Mojo would say if he were here, don't be a dick. All right, let's move forward, not backwards. Let's keep going forward. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. If you guys get a chance, post up what you're doing this weekend. Throw some stuff in the Discord. I'd love to see it and live vicariously through you and your photos. I'm going to go for a walk now. I hope you guys get a chance to do something that you guys enjoy. Get a chance to spend some time doing something that brings you value. Please know that you guys matter and you're making a difference in the world, whether you know it or not. There is somebody out there that's thinking of you, thinking of you fondly. That might even be me. All right. Thanks, guys, so much. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Until then, peace.